Hi friends, today I would like to deal about the software design in software engineering. So let us know what is software design. So what is software design? So before going to that, we have to know the most important point, why. Why we require a software design. So why we require means because actually the software design is the most important point is that it is more creative than analysis. Rather than analysis, it is more creative. So before going theoretically, if we go in the form of pictorial representation, it is more clear what is software design. So if I give you an real-time example. For suppose, see here. If you want to find some address. So how many ways you have? I have two ways. What is the first way? The first way, I will ask some other person, some person regarding the address. What will be the second way? So due to the improved technology, we'll easily go through our mobile phones and we'll search for the Google Maps, right? So what happens here? So by using the Google Maps, we can reach our destination. Where we need to go, where we need to reach the destination will be find out easily by using the Google Maps. So, by this way, the software design is called as problem solving approach or problem solving activity or approach. So, what is the problem here? Finding out an address. What is the solution here? Through the Google Maps, we reach the destination. So software design is nothing but the problem solving activity where we can solve our problems by using some technology is called software design. So if I say here you have a customer, here you need to develop some product, and here you have a developer. So if we want a product to be developed, so I am the customer or the user and he is the developer who develops the product. I am the customer would like to have some product. So to whom I will be approaching? The developer who develops the product will approach. So what are the stages we can find there? Stages for developing a product. Okay. So what is the first stage? So first stage is initial requirement. Initial requirement is the first stage. Initial requirement is the first stage. Next, gathering the data. Next one is gathering the data. The next one is analyzing required data. The next stage is high level design. Next stage is high level design. And final one is refine and documentation. So these are the different types of stages where we can develop a product. What is the first stage? Initial requirement. Initial requirement is nothing but to develop a product. To develop a product, what we need, what are the requirements to develop that product? We need to gather the complete data. We need to analyze whether that is required data is valid or not. Here we have a validate. So what does validate date indicates? Either the initial requirement moves to the validate, gathering and analyzing, high level design and refining and documentation. Documentation means whatever the pictorial representation we represent here, we have to document the whole design. Okay, so for all these questions, initial requirement, gathering, analysis, high level design, documentation are the queries to be answered. By whom? It should be answered by the developer. Okay, this is the pictorial representation. How do you approach the problem solving activities? To develop a product, what we require? We need the initial requirements. Then we gather the data. Then we analyze the data. Then the high level design is possible here. And finally, we make the whole requirements and hold the product in the form of documentation. Okay, so what happens here? Let us see the different types of software designs. Software design has types. So software design, let us draw some software design. This design is divided into two parts. One is conceptual design and the second one is technical design. Conceptual design and the second one is technical design. So what happens in the conceptual design and what happens in the technical design? Let us see. So in the conceptual design, we have a concept called what, and in the technical design we have a concept of how. So what design is going to be implemented here? What design is going to be implemented? And here in the technical design, how the structure is developed. Here what happens? How the structure is developed. Okay, here we find what and here we find how. So what happens here? Here in this conceptual design, the key role played by the customer, and in the technical design, the key role played by the system builder, or he is also called as developer. Right? So what happens here? Here in the conceptual design, what happens is, what happens to the data in the system? Okay, data in the system. How the system looks? Is it friendly or not? So these are the queries raised by the customer, because he used to develop, he gave something to the developer to develop something. So he has some queries of what data will be available in the system, is it friendly or not, and various questions asked by the customer to the designer. Okay. So what happens here? By using the conceptual design, all these queries are given by these answers were given by the whom? The answers are given by the system builder. Right? The conceptual design. Now you understand what data will be given in the system, is it friendly or not, and all these questions are raised by the customer to whom? To the developer. Understood? Now coming to the technical design. So what happens in the technical design? The technical design, how they will design the product. Here a concept called how the structure is developed and how they will design the product. So it consisting of configurations. They describe the hardware configurations. The queries asked by whom they will be answered by the system developer. They describe about the hardware configuration. And the second one, the software needs they require. The third one is communication interface. And the fourth one is I/O devices used. And fifth one, software architecture. Also the network architecture. Okay. So whatever design you have taken, whether it is conceptual or technical, the design should be in a correct and complete. This is the final output should come, whether it may be a conceptual or technical, or design or the product should be in a correct and complete at the last. Okay, so design should be correct and complete. Means correct and complete means it should be in an understandable way. Understandable. The design should be at the right level and it should be in a maintainable manner. Okay, this is how software is designed. So whatever the design you develop, I'll just say you a small example. So this is the design. So suppose we think this is as a design. So here, if I write here, satisfy. And here we have customer and we have here designer. So if you want to satisfy the customer, we have to follow which one? Conceptual. And if we want to satisfy the designer, then we have to follow the technical one. Understood? The designer, if you want to satisfy the customer, we have to follow the conceptual manner. If you want to satisfy the designer, we have to follow the technical manner. Therefore, the software is designed in this manner. Thank you for watching this video. Have a good day.